And good morning and welcome back to Fallout 4. This is Horizon 1.8 of my how-to series. Hope you're well and safe. And I hope you had a good holiday as well. Preston is still following me. Right, today is all about farming. Now, you'd imagine it's quite simple and straightforward, wouldn't you? But, well, to a degree it is. Because you can. Let's just pick something that's fairly big. Yep. You can just plant crops as normal and they will be harvested. Now the good thing about these is you can harvest these yourself. The plants from Horizon you cannot. So there is an advantage early on to planting the old way, because what will happen is every time you pick a plant you have three things you can get, which is rotten vegetables, plant material, or the fruit vegetable that comes with it. So that means that if you have three plants, statistically you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a piece of fruit or vegetable, which you can then use or replant. Now, if I just run up here, when you have plants from Horizon, which I'll show you in a minute, they are activated from here. And this is from your production menu, which is either from here or your resource station. Mine's over there. Now, under passive production, we have... Oh, no. Do you know what? There we go. That's better. Under crops. It's not passive production. It's under crops. And... come on. Right. So what will happen is, as it says here, for every 20 rating, i.e. effectively 20 plants, you'll get 1 surplus crop. Now, you can double that with fertilizer. So here, I could potentially get 12.83 carrots per cycle, which is 2 hours. So, but there is a maximum yield you can get, which don't worry about. The point is, when you're starting, this is how to farm. So you've got carrots coming through. Corn is what I've planted. So for every 20, that gives me 1 surplus. Now, as we mentioned earlier, every 3rd plant you crop, you've got a chance of getting a whole piece of fruit. Ooh. So if we were to plant enough of these, i.e. if we planted, say, 30, that would give us a food rating of 15. Oh no, corn is 1. So that would give us a food rating of 30. Which is, guys, that would be 5 people farming them. That means we have a higher chance, because with statistics, the more items you have in it, the more likely you are to hit the average. Not guaranteed, though. They are guaranteed plants. These are potential plants. Now, if we go to Architect and Farming, now this is Horizon Farming, and as you can see in the bundle there are 5 plants, but you can't ever pick these. They still require someone to work. They still would take the same amount of time. Oh, and there's already a settler attached to these. Now, in a cycle, that would add to my corn production. But if I had only just started the game, this only produces 6. However, for Horizon terms, it produces 6 food, but its value is double that. It is 12. And if we have a look on here, can you see at the top, gives excellent production rating plus 12. Okay. So that means that's 12. Here we are. So that would be 24 for horizon. So that would actually give me 1 corn per cycle. Or 2 if I was using fertilizer. Which is not a lot. However, it is a guaranteed return compared to these being a potential return, but only if they've obviously got someone attached to them. But these require work for you to get the produce. The settlers will get food from them, yes. But if you want the surplus, you're going to have to pick them yourself. So, when you first start, you're going to be planting like that. Excuse me. So when you first start, you're going to be planting like that because you've got a few melons over the back. You've got 1 gourd. So if you were to pick the melons and plant them, that'll give you 4 melons, 2 gourds. So that's 6 food to get you started without any problem at all. That's it, I think, really, with farming. There are indeed more things you can do, as I've mentioned over there, with the production cycle. You can add fertilizer under crops. Come on. It will take a while. So, this gives you an overall view of exactly what I'm getting. However, there are maximums that I can receive. I don't get 12 carrots, 12 corn, 16 potatoes. I am massively overproducing what I need. And I don't need to fertilize. But if I did want double crops, and that will work with the other crops, what you would do here, as is with all things, under the horizon menu, you see the number that you want. So if we were doing corn, we would go to manage slot 2. I have fertilizer, so I could add fertilizer to the corn. And then what I would do is I would add how many fertilizers do I want. And indeed, when I first start, I would do something like 5 plus 1. So I would get 6 corn. But the reason is so that the 6 corn I got could be used to plant more corn. And that's how I slowly expand my settlements. Because generally, I have to say, I don't tend to go that route apart from the very, very beginning. Because if you think about it, you can get something like 12 to 15 potatoes from Abernathy. You can get 3 to 6 melons from Abernathy. That's an awful lot. There is another function you can get as well, which involves the nursery. Oh, and farming. I suppose I should have showed you as well. If you don't want any farmers in a location, you can automate your farming. As I should have showed you this as well. My apologies. You can put down these. These require power to work, but you can't put any plants in them. If you go along that section, so under automated, you will find that there is an automated crop. So if we went to corn, and you can see there's a little nub on the end of it, it takes power to work. So if we were to look there, don't look anywhere. Well, it does. Okay, never used to. Well, I didn't think it did. Takes 4 power for each. And they will then produce 6 food as a cycle without any help from anyone. The downside being that in order to make one, it will use your copper, which is a scarce resource. It will also use your basic circuitry, and when you start, that's a scarce resource, but as you can see now, I'm level 33, and my basic circuitry is just under 1,000. But copper, 27. So, if you have a surplus, you're laughing. And you don't necessarily have to have a setup involving settlers. You could have, say, a settlement of 3 people. You have a doctor, a bar, and a guard. That means that wherever you go, you'll be able to get access to various things without too many problems. Vendors. You'll have defense because you can put some turrets up as well. You could also have food produced quite easily. The downside is, if you look at the right hand side, it's Workshop Tech 4 under a non-desolation game. Does that answer all the questions we've mentioned about production, 20 each? Farming. I suppose there is one other thing we could look at. Here we are. Now. Where are we? Nope, not there. Here we are. Under the production console. Under the plant nursery. Now, you see the farming workbenches we've got here. You need those. But if we were to go to plant nursery, okay, I get compost from wood just because it means I've got 40,000 wood. It's not an issue for me. Acid and fertilizer are fine. But it's a bit counterproductive to a degree, but separate issue. Now, if we were to go to section 2, manage service slot. No, I've got to add, haven't I, first? Active services. Supposing I had managed to find some wild corn. This is why you pick up everything. If I was to put that wild corn, or come to this workstation, put the wild corn in my main inventory, or my workshop, and I left it there. If we were to go confirm trade, now you can see that it will produce wild corn to corn. So if we go to manage slot 1, how many flint corn do I have? I have 174. When you first start out, you might have a few. However, again, what I would tend to do is, if I had enough, I would add 6 work orders to it, which would then give me enough corn, because the output for this is corn. It changes wild flint corn to corn. So if you don't have enough materials or enough raw plants, I suppose one day I might try and do a map. But there is, in the surrounding area, we've got flint corn over there, all behind Sanctuary. There is, what else have we got? Wheat. There is, I think, a couple of wheat over that way beyond Abernathy. So if you explore the local area and you pick up all the fruit or all the vegetables, and I do suggest Corax's mod for doing this because it highlights them, you should be able to get a good cross selection of vegetables and fruits, whatever you want to call them, in a fairly short space of time. I hope that helps. It's kind of an involved subject. If you have more questions, let me know. Okay, it's always a pleasure. I think between now and the next vid, please take care, keep safe. A huge thank you to all who have subscribed. If you are enjoying what I'm doing, please consider leaving a like, a comment, and subscribing.
Lost track of how many blisters I got.
Oh, okay. Well, keep working hard, love. Keep working hard. And, yeah. Take care, keep safe, and I do hope you enjoy. All the best. See you soon. Ta-da for now. Bye-bye.